You know when you have a really good product and then you take almost 100% of the value out of that product, but then you still try to convince consumers to buy that product, even though you've taken all of the value out, you've literally taken away the reason to ever buy that product, to ever purchase that product, to ever be a customer? Well, that is 97% of VPNs. They have literally taken away the reason you would buy a VPN. Your ISP tracks you. Your computer hardware now with some of these companies track you unless you're building your own system and using an open source like Linux, using Tor, Unix, VPNs. I've showed exactly on this channel how to be anonymous, but it takes a fair amount of effort to not be tracked out of the box. And then you use something like a VPN, and now instead of having your ISP track you, these VPNs are starting to log you in record numbers, and now there's ISPs buying VPNs. Oh, the irony is incredible. Today, an operation sinking ship. I'm going to tell you right off the bat where this video is going. Blockchain. I'm actually building my first ever blockchain project, and I know a lot of other people are as well. The future of privacy is blockchain, and I know you might be thinking, Cody, blockchain is actually one of the least private things there are. It's an open, I mean, you look at all the crypto, you look at the open ledgers, you look at all these things. Just hear me out for a second, okay? Just hear me out, because there's some things you have to understand before this moves forward. The internet is a really interesting place the last year. And the amount the federal government is trying to suppress privacy in the last 18 months is shocking. And VPNs are literally getting bought up by shady companies. And a lot of people have been doing research. I know here at PrivacyX, we've been doing some research. You can check out some more in-depth stuff at privacyxproject.com. We've been working on our privacyx.org course that will be coming out, but we've had to restructure a lot of it because so much has been happening and we want to give you guys the best information possible. So I know we delayed the course. It's simply just because so much has been changing that I want to make sure I could benefit you to the best of our ability, and so we delayed a little bit. More will be coming out, but what I'm going to tell you about this is these VPNs are getting bought by companies that own shell companies, that own corporations overseas, that own companies, that own... The paper trail is insanity. And a bunch of them have been revealed that literally internet service providers are starting to buy VPNs so they can buy back their power. Because over the last couple of years, especially on YouTube, it has been very popular for creators to be sponsored by these huge VPNs. Well, now that they have literally hundreds of millions of people using VPNs, these ISPs can swoop in, buy the VPNs, and now what they lost by you using a VPN, they can just regain. Crazy. Crazy. And now they can double profit off you because you already pay them. Now you pay the VPN for no reason now, because if they own the VPN, cancel the VPN service. You literally have added no value. None. So many of these companies are logging you now, and it's ridiculous. It is literally defeating the purpose. There's no point in having a VPN. And we've seen this with Protonmail, probably the biggest disgrace. Protonmail, you're a disgrace. There's no reason to use Protonmail if they are going to literally be Gmail, but worse. See, Protonmail, maybe you don't understand. The only reason people use your service isn't because you've reinvented the wheel. You've created the Tesla of email. No, dude, your email's average. Let's be honest. We used it for privacy. That's it. Free Gmail is probably better than paid Protonmail if we're looking at features, but Gmail sucks. It's run by communist Google. And now Protonmail is just as bad. So you've literally made yourself worthless. Nobody's going to pay for Protonmail when the one reason we purchased Protonmail has now been scrapped. And Proton VPN is the exact same thing. So look for Protonmail to go out of business. Protonmail, if you were going to do the honorable thing and you actually cared about privacy like you pretend to, go out of business like Lava did. Start an actual privacy company. Or do what you really want to do and be the next Gmail. You have the right. But Protonmail decided they don't want to be privacy. People say, well, the laws. Here's the thing with people. People need to start standing up with this. We've talked a lot about privacy is a right and it's a right that needs to be protected. And companies like Protonmail and companies like these VPNs are just slapping the face. I got a really good comment on YouTube this morning. And this guy, I wish I could remember his name. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. This was actually a really good comment because this just sums everything up. He said his name is, his name is Says. So I don't know if that's probably not a real name. But he commented on my crypto phone video and he said, I remember scratching my head back in 2007 when I heard that people gonna buy privacy in the future. Now I understand. I remember the same thing. This anonymous person, which it's probably smart for you to be anonymous, says, I remember back in 2007, which was a long time ago at this point, when people saying in the future you're going to buy privacy. And I remember seeing seminars and things where they would say that. And I thought, what? Well, now we're here. We're in that future and people are having to buy privacy. And now we've got governments worldwide blocking your ability to take back your privacy. They want to use you as a product. You don't benefit. In fact, you lose constantly by being the product. You are going to lose in more ways than you can count. Not just identity theft. It's going to get really, really bad. And we're going to be breaking that down here on Privacy X. Obviously, it's what we do. And then we're also going to be giving you solutions. This isn't just doom and gloom. I'm not the Alex Jones of privacy. I'm not going to sit around and just talk about the negative. I'm going to keep pivoting and I'm going to keep finding the positives. Companies like Protonmail have decided to be a disgrace. The CEO of Protonmail is a disgrace and has no business talking about the privacy community if this is what he's going to do. I don't care about the laws and all this stuff. The people need to stand up or you need to pivot into something you can actually control. If you're a privacy advocate, obviously let your Protonmail run out and then pivot away from this crappy company. Proton VPN is garbage. We'll be taking it off our website. And, I've single-handedly pushed thousands of people to Protonmail. And it's really, that's why I'm pissed about it, because people come to us for solutions. And I'm getting sick and tired of these companies basically taking our money and then flipping us off, right? Saying they're one thing and then, I talked about the Privacy X course. Imagine if you bought the Privacy X course and you were expecting the most detailed, in-depth breakdown of privacy on planet Earth, which is exactly what you're going to get. So detailed that literally the FBI doesn't want this course to come out. And instead of that, I gave you a course on basket weaving. You would be pissed, and rightfully so. Imagine me in there, okay guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this sweet weave. That's these companies. That's the classic bait and switch. And that's what's happening with these VPNs. They're just selling out. And that's what's happening with companies like Protonmail that are turning into literal garbage. And the unfortunate thing for the consumers is we're allowing this to happen right in front of our eyes. The average person is not speaking up. And then what happens? There's going to be nobody. Now, a couple people have said, oh, don't you think that's a little mean? Maybe Protonmail will rise up and do something. I mean, show me. I don't want to hear the talk. Show me. Because the fact is, I've been a customer of Protonmail and I have literally funneled down, and not an affiliate. I've never been an affiliate because I believed in their product. Thousands of people signed up for that product from my website. Thousands. And now they do this. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And so we're going to be making some changes here. And like I said, the future is going to be on the blockchain. The future is going to be decentralized. It has to be. Because the fact is, as much as we don't want this, every government in the world right now is pushing for a one world government. We all know this. And also, these weak people in America and worldwide, they pretend that they care and they pretend they don't want that, but they're not willing to stand up. And because of that, it's going to happen. We are going to have dictators. We are going to have kings and queens running America and communism soon. Like, sadly, fairly soon, within the next decade. America's not going to look like America anymore soon. And the one way people can fight back is by decentralizing everything. if they want a one world government, how we can win, it's only going to be a partial win, I'm going to be honest with you. But the best way we can win is stand up and fight back. I mean, we could literally shut down Congress tomorrow by demanding that they do what we actually want instead of just doing whatever they want. We could recall and take this president out of office because he's mentally incompetent, which is not a joke. He just is. He's got dementia. He hasn't been running, I mean, the guy can't even string 3 sentences together, ever. Mental illness is no joke, and he's being portrayed as a puppet. Now, I don't think the Bidens are good people. I think they're horrible people. And I think a lot of people who've been in politics in America and worldwide are horrible people. But this has gone to a level that is out of this world. And the people could rise up, and I'm not talking violent, I'm talking rise up and fight back and say, no, we're done. But see, the government, that's the one thing they're scared of. And so the government are masters of dividing us. First of all, the two-party system is meant to divide us. Half the Republicans and Democrats, they could go either way. They don't care. It's like, hey, okay, we got 50 Democrats. It's like being on 2 different sports teams. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, hey, you go wear the black shirts, and you go wear the green shirts, you go wear the blue shirts, you go wear the white shirts, you go over to the yellow shirts. It doesn't matter. So they can divide us perfectly, and by dividing us, they keep their power. So the best way we can start to win on the internet is by decentralizing everything so they can't shut us down. Because what has the FBI done for years? They have single-handedly shut down. I mean, you saw how they shut down Parler. Now, I'm going to be honest. I thought Parler was stupid. I wasn't a fan. But they shouldn't have been able to shut them down the way that they did. That should have been highly illegal. But these companies don't care about illegal because they're so rich at this point. If these companies get sued for $500 million, which is not going to happen, but let's just say it's $500 million, that's like you getting sued for $50. You don't care, right? That's how rich these companies have got. Plus, it's all a write-off, so they'll just throw it up against their taxes. They'll just defer on the, what they'll do is they'll pull out a loan, and then they'll just do an interest only. I mean, there's so many ways these big companies could get away with virtually not paying. And even if they pay, it's over like a 5-year span, it's going to be like they paid virtually nothing. They're masters at this because all the loopholes, because they funded the politicians to get these loopholes put in place. So decentralizing everything is going to be important. And I'm going to be talking a lot about this on this channel, not just crypto. Crypto is important, but unfortunately crypto is under a full-scale attack right now. But the decentralization of the entire internet is going to be vital for all countries, including America. And people better start acting fast or you're just screwed. I mean, I don't think people realize that if the government wanted to, and I don't think they want to, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't think the government is plotting to shut down the internet. But I don't think many of you realize how easy that actually is. Look up how the internet can be shut down. You look up like ACAN and some of these other things. It is shockingly easy, guys. And they have the power to pull the plug effectively. Now, again, I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't think they're looking at doing that. That's not their plan. In fact, I think they like having the internet because it allows them to have a certain amount of control, provided they can manipulate it, which they've done with all these liberal companies. So, decentralization is going to be key. And we're lucky that a lot of these pointless companies like Microsoft and Facebook and a lot of these companies have tried in crypto and they failed because they don't understand how decentralization works. They don't understand what to do next. And so the future could be bright with that. Now, as far as VPNs, what's next? Well, I'm going to be putting out a new list. We've been researching, I think, 27 different VPNs, and I'm sad to say almost all of them have come up short. Almost all of them. They're all getting sold. They're all logging. The second a VPN does logs, they have zero value. Don't ever cancel. Cancel. People ask me every day, Cody, is there any good free VPNs? That's literally not possible. There will never be a good free VPN because that's not possible. When the VPN's free, you are the product. They sell the logs. That's how they make money, is ads and selling the logs. So no, using a free VPN is a massive security risk for you. Don't ever use a free VPN. The next thing, are there any good paid VPNs? Barely. We're going to be updating our resources section on Privacy X Project shortly, We've been doing a ton of research the last 3 months, and we're going to be putting out some new companies, and obviously there's going to be some disgraces that are going to be leaving the website here soon, because we get tons of people every week. I'm talking hundreds of people every week email PrivacyX for suggestions and recommendations. Most of these products we're not even affiliated with, as far as we don't make commissions or money from most of them. I just want to steer you guys to the best possible privacy type companies. And the stuff we do make affiliate commissions on, there's big bold letters that says we're affiliate, and then it says below, if you don't want to give us an affiliate commission, just type in the domain and bypass our website. Like literally, I'm literally as upfront and honest with this stuff as humanly possible. But I would say 50% of our recommendation page isn't even affiliate links. I just want you guys to get the best deal possible and have real privacy. And there's a full-scale attack on that because they don't want that. I mean, we're in a world where they want passports. I can't even say it, or you know what'll happen. I've done videos on it, and that went well. So, you know, if I would have asked you about something medical a year ago, I technically would have been breaking the law. Now we've got Karens everywhere crying about masks, and masks is one thing, but crying about, you got to be kidding me. Legally, you're not even supposed to be talking about half the stuff they're talking about, but they just want it to be all willy-nilly open out there in the wild, which is not okay according to their own laws. Just like it's a felony in most states to wear a mask. Go back to 2019 and wear a mask in a bank and see what happens. Wear a mask in a convenience store. Everyone's going to jump on the floor. And you know the irony is robberies aren't up because of masks, except for when we were doing the riots. That was the weird thing. We had these crazy riots going on, a bunch of idiots. Oh, we stand for freedom. Oh, do you? That's why you're stealing from Nike, dummies. So instead of those losers who are standing for racial inequality by stealing stuff, a bunch of garbage people, except for that, with the riots we had here in America, and I think worldwide from what I've seen, or at least in some major countries, it's kind of a new deal. So I highly recommend you get serious about this. Now, the one bombshell that a lot of people forget, do you know why this is happening? When those riots happened, the FBI was caught with their head in the sand. There was so many people that they could not track on their cell phone because of simple VPNs and because of simple privacy tools. And also people using burner phones, people not taking their phones. The FBI has several devices where they can triangulate everything about your phone. They can track you, stalk you, and they can break into your phone without even trying. The NSA, the FBI, the CIA, oh, they're not operational in the US. Keep telling yourself that. But the reality is there's so many sister agencies where they can transfer unofficially these agents. Oh, you're in the CIA. We're going to transfer you. We're going to give a day trade to this agency. Now you can be full operational with your CIA skills. Oops, you didn't think of that, did you? You just thought if they're CIA, they can't be. Yeah. See, this is the problem with Americans. They don't understand how anything works because we've got our head in the sand at all times watching TV shows instead of actually doing research and understanding the country that belongs to you and how it's crumbling around you in the name of these powerful politicians want to get everything they can, as much money, as much power, as much everything. And you're letting it happen. You have the power to stop it, but you don't. My videos are never going to get out there. YouTube's going to make sure of that. But you know, if more people would tell people and talk to people about this and have conversations and share videos on this subject. I'm not even just talking about mine. There's other people that make great videos on this topic if you would just share them. I share videos all the time from other privacy advocates because I don't care about who's bigger than who. I care about the content and the information. That's all that matters. I mean, if I wanted to be world famous on YouTube, do you think this would be the niche I picked? I've done business and privacy. It doesn't get much worse than that. I should have done gaming and, you know, pranks and comedy skits and, all kinds of weird stuff. And basically anything but what I'm doing. So Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. We're going to be breaking down decentralization. I'm going to be doing a bunch of tutorials, but I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things now. We've got a bunch of stuff coming. A lot of people are asking what VPN should I use. Mulvad is one that a lot of people are using. It's one that I've recently been using, and I'm going to leave you with that. Basically every other one right now, and I hate to even give recommendations until our research is done, and frankly, as soon as our research is done, we already know what's going to happen. A bunch of these companies are going to buy and sell each other, and I think the VPN is going to come to an end. I think we're going to start to see the end of the tool known as VPN, because it's going to be a while before the average consumer realizes that it's a bad idea to buy a VPN if the VPN keeps logs. And all of these new companies are changing their terms of service overnight in the middle of the night, just like that stupid Protonmail did. But it's just what's happening. So I think we're going to see the end of the VPN, and we're going to see the rise of decentralization. Now, there's a lot of things we could do on a decentralized network, and we're going to break that down, starting with decentralized VPNs. I do have a couple good recommendations that are going to be coming up. There is a couple of good decentralized VPNs that already exist, and it's very clever how they use their service. I've been talking to two of them. They're actually cryptocurrencies. You can buy the crypto, which I'm not necessarily recommending you do right now, but there's a few I've been talking to, and there's a couple that I think I'm going to be recommending. I've been trying a couple crypto VPNs. I've been trying more decentralized crypto-based, blockchain-based services, and it's very creative how some of these companies are solving these problems. So while I'm very disappointed in the standard internet companies, I want you guys to understand that there is hope, and there is still companies that are doing things positive. And I think as a collective, not just America, but basically the internet, so that means the whole world, as a collective, if we start decentralizing everything, that's going to be the one saving grace that they can't touch. Now, they could make things illegal, and they will, but again, that's going to come down to a head because they know they can only push the people so far until they push back. And that's their big fear. That's what keeps them up at night. So appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you haven't already, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share and tell people about it. But more than my channel, let people know what's going on. I'm not talking conspiracy theories. I'm talking factually. And also do your research. Don't just watch my channel. Look at other channels as well. Do your research and formulate an independent opinion. Don't just fall into the trap of this pointless media. It isn't Fox or CNN. They all suck because they're all controlled by big corporations. Open your eyes, go outside of your little bubble, and figure out what's going on in the world around you, and get your information from like 4 to 6 different sources. Not too many, because then your head's just going to be spinning, but also don't cling to 1 or 2 people or 1 or 2 sources. Go out and get 3, 4, 5 sources and formulate your own opinion. Appreciate you checking this out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.